Greetings, Skyfarers, and welcome to another episode of Sunless Skies. I'm Cobalt Thorium, and in this episode, we are going to head back, all the way back, to the Reach. Whoops. What button did I press? To control? Shift? So just want to maybe hug this on our way north. Although I don't want to get too far out of the way. A failed work world sprawls here, rusting. Oh, this is interesting. Alright, I am a bit off course, so I think, this is not what we came here to do. As much as I would really like to explore all of Albion in the same way that we've explored all of the Reach. Pretty much all of our quests are in the Reach right now. Well, in the Reach or Eleutheria. So, it makes sense to head back to the Reach. The sun is blazing hot. It's wonderful. That was the main reason why we came back here, to make sure it didn't go out. So of course, we'll watch the sun, make sure it's still nice and piping hot. But there's so much we need to do in the Reach and elsewhere. Man, this place is a mess. Really is ruined. There's our relay, which hopefully will get rid of our terror as well. That'd be nice. We will present ourselves to customs. Nothing to declare. A clean sweep. Return to the engine. Travel to the Reach first class. Yeah, we got plenty of documents. Oh, it didn't take us all the way down. What? Why? Why is the Burrower watching us? Oh. What did we do to the Burrower? That's not fair. got some loading. I suppose we should probably stop in at Port Prosper. Wait, is that the name of it? Yeah, I think it is. This one. Alright. Let's explore. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll, let's enjoy ourselves and see if that'll take down our terror. The thing is that I'm afraid that if we do this, it'll the Eastenders will like that, and we don't like them. Yeah. See, it's crap. All right. I think we have a settler to return. Yep, this is what they wanted. Alright, so we returned the settler who got cold feet. Your passenger staggers off your engine, his gratitude profuse. He's quite happy to remain right here. Thank you very much. Journeying with you has convinced him that he has no desire to journey at all. Nice. You've delivered a settler. If you visit Queen's Cross and Port Prosper, you can pick up another, or inspire a new crop to travel. Alright, let's grab another one. Come on. Titania, okay. Parsimony's chairman. I don't think there's really anything we need from you. Oh, we do want an unlicensed chart. 10 tackety nameplates for an unlicensed chart. I think that's what we were trying to get, right? Let's do it. He ushers you into a private study. Behind a hatch, concealed behind an old portrait of Lord Nelson, rows of carefully rolled charts are stored. The chairman removes one. There, now, go. Do London proud. You've gained 1 unlicensed chart. A new total of 3. You've gained 5 of the Windward Company's gratitude. You've lost 10 mangled tackety nameplates. You've gained 10 reputation. The Windward Company, 117 beloved. Aww. You've lost 5 reputation with the tacketies. New total 0. Load. Haha. You guys suck. I guess we'll retain our tackety nameplates. We only have 1 anyway. And we'll try to go for another unlicensed chart at a later date. So, that's the Parsimony's Chairman's office. Bleak Industrial Estates, there's really nothing to do there. We're still trying to... he wants us to get, I think, his son out of the Blue Kingdom, which means that they're dead. Nothing to do with the Albion Transit Relay, and we've been through it like 4 times. This is the Windward Company, see if we can get our terror down a little bit. Okay. Well, seems very straightforward. Let's go to the bazaar. Chorister nectar is worth having. Does mean we're going to be a little bit short on fuel. That's okay, though. We don't have far to go. Alright, so we made our way to Port Prosper. I think that next we're probably just going to go straight on down to London. Or not London, Winchester. And from there, we can kind of make our plans. I think a lot of our quests have to do with Winchester, though. So that'll help us sort of sort through the mess a little bit. Hello, monitor. How's it going? Ooh, tacky. Oh, you bastard. Alright. What damage are we? It only damaged us one. So let's use the cargo. We can barely fit it, but we can fit it indeed. So let's move on. It's interesting that Tackities are actually this far north. They usually aren't. The Endless Waltz. More in the dead. 23. Okay, lost 5. Yeah, it's interesting that we saw... Did I not get a port report? Hold on. Not journals. Possessions. Port reports. Okay, we do have one from Prosper. Now, we need to get a whole bunch of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we need to get like 7 for the this guy. Six. So we need to get 2 more. Magdalene's is right there. It is a bit out of the way, though. Let's just keep going. We're going to have to go to Magdalene's at some point anyway, but... Despite the proximity to New Winchester, marauders prowl these glades. The music in this game is so good. It's like haunting. It does come off as slightly medieval though, as opposed to like steampunky, like Victorian. But then again, I'm not really sure what they would listen to in like steampunky Victorian times. But it's supposed to be some kind of like jig. Like, you'd think of, like, what would be played on, like, the lower decks of the Titanic or something. And the rest would be, like, all into classical music and stuff. Or maybe they should be doing something like sea shanties. Sea shanties are... Would that be Victorian? Could be. Anyway, the reason why we're not... Oh good, says the eccentric flatly. New Winchester, full of men who think they're engineers, blessed their hearts. I don't like our cat-loving eccentric. I think she's bland and the cats worry me. So there's that. What is this? The Tacketies return. Another upheaval has shaken New Winchester. The Tacketies, having fought their way from near defeat at the hands of the Windward Company, have returned. Hobnail boots tread the streets again, and talk of independence is heard once more in the tea and gin houses. The Colonial Assembly has returned to Victory Hall, repaired the shattered windows, and resumed arguing exactly where they left off. This is unfortunate. Learn more. Your acquaintances are prepared to furnish you with an account of events. Okay, well that does explain why there's Tackety stuff well into the north once more. Stalemate. The Tacketies approached New Winchester. As the Tacketies approached New Winchester, the Windward Company made a last-minute attempt to destroy Victory Hall, but a band of Tackety sympathizers occupied and defended the hall until the relief forces could secure it. Now both sides of the conflict must share the port again, and the balance of power in the Reach has returned to its traditional state of a simmering stalemate. This change in the balance of power will affect encounters, discoveries, bargains, and prospects in the Reach. For example, the renewed conflict means wrecks are more common and unmined skyrocks less so. Alright, before we do anything else, let's get to the bank and cash in all of our stuff. Get it out of our inventory. Now, we'll go to the bazaar. Hours for the Ringmaster Winchester windows. Well, we're certainly not going to try to... We're not going to aid the Tackety war effort at all. So that's a no. Suppose we could always do this. Okay. We need to pick up some fuel and supplies. So this is almost out. That's why I'm doing the extra one. Alright, nothing else there. Repair. I think we're only damaged by one, so who cares? Okay. All right. Let's do the explore the city. Alright, let's listen to the will of the people. A delegation has been sent to petition you in your role as minister. Endless problems, few solutions. You listen with appropriate amounts of care to each person who begs a moment of your time. The majority are local issues, not worth bringing up in Parliament. Occasionally, inspiration strikes for a new law. You promise, with a practiced politician's sincerity, that even if there's nothing you can do, you will do it to the best of your ability. They seem mollified by that. Constituents waiting, you've spoken to your constituents. You have taken note of the will of the people. Onwards! Let's go back to exploring the city. Now let's do the escorting of the Incautious Driver home. The Stainrod mansion is draped in mourning black. The lady of the house stiffly greets her guests, nodding at every whispered word of condolence. A lady in mourning. The Incautious Driver's mother greets you both at the gate, her tone chillier than lustrum frost. The prodigal returns, then. Somewhat late, but I suppose better late than never. Your father would have been pleased to see the effort. You had better come in. Learning about the Incautious Driver. The driver has returned for their father's funeral. The funeral party gathers on the main lawn behind the house, sipping wine and eating delicate sandwiches without crusts. Look for the Incautious Driver. They slipped away into the house, up to an old playroom. Memories of childhood. You find the driver in a dusty old playroom. A portrait hangs on the wall showing a young boy and his younger siblings. My older brother and I, the driver confides, we weren't close. He was outdoorsy while I spent most of my time in here. I almost died of a sky sickness as a baby. It took a long time to recover, and I was always very frail. Mother and father thought it best that I stay indoors. I don't mind. The world outside sounded terrible, full of monsters and diseases and accidents. I was happier with my toy trains and my window garden and my books. Learning about the Incautious Driver. The drivers mourning their father. The funeral party gathers. Oh, yeah. Okay. Attend the funeral on the lawn. A bell rings. It's time for the ceremony. The ceremony is solemn. Members of the family take turns to lay flowers on the coffin and say a few words. The driver places a flower that says nothing. You find them later in the shadow of a rose bush, brought all the way from old London. It was father who said I should leave, you know. Their voice was quiet. I had to work, after all, and he knew I liked botany. He arranged a position for me in the nature reserve and booked passage on a reputable engine. First time I ever left New Winchester. So we can pick a rose. There's a tear in the driver's eye. The moment is awkward, and it may spare their feelings if your attention was elsewhere. Or you could lay a hand on the driver's shoulder. The awkwardness of the moment should not keep you from offering comfort. Alright, do we want to be cold or warm? I'm concerned that this is going to turn into like a romance thing. And I believe, although I'm not entirely sure, the driver is female. And my character is not a lesbian. So, maybe the detached approach is the right way to do it. Also, I'm not a huge fan of the Incautious Driver, I don't think. She doesn't make me laugh. But then again, how much do I like any of the crew? I like the princess. She's entertaining. She's very interested in me. I like the dog. We'll just pick the rose. We crashed within sight of our destination. When I stumbled into port, I wasn't afraid of anything anymore. I thought I found my courage in the wilds, but it was the Verdant, wasn't it? It colonized me. It took away my fear. When the driver looks at the house, to the dark windows of the playroom, When it's done with me, which version of myself will remain? They frowned. Can we go now? Learning about the Incautious Driver, the driver is mourning their father. The smoggy, clanking, singing, stomping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach. Wait, do we leave? I guess so. An ever-expanding port of soot-smudged glass and bright steel spilling across drifting, mist-wrapped archipelago. The factory's thunder. Yeah. Not a huge fan of where the war is going. Alright, what do we actually do with the Incautious Driver now? Okay, so this character wants to go to the Blue Kingdom, so we're not going to go there yet. We probably have to get a better locomotive before we do that. Like, the beasts in the Blue Kingdom just kick our asses so badly. Alright. We don't really need to repair. We don't really need to hire. We have only 1 damage and we have 13 out of 14 crew. So we just did the Ambition Stars Are Dying. It looks like the only thing that's left is this recent news Spies and Traders Wood. Town criers making the rounds of the station. Windward spies suspected to be operating out Traders Wood. Fine place for them. The assembly is seeking captains brave enough to investigate the rumors. He looks about the crowds. Is that volunteers I spot? He asks, hopefully. We can step up to the call. It's a rumor worth investigating. For your own ends, if no one else's. And it looks like it'll cost us a sky story. That's okay. The crier shakes your hand. Brave hero, going to root out the wicked spies for us. A toffee for every head. The chant is taken up by the crowd as the crier presses a piece of paper into your hands. It reads, 3 flashes of a lantern seen by the old hagwood. Answers by 2 flashes, then 3, then 1. Okay, well, we're not gonna... So, these are Windward spies. We like Windward, so we're gonna go there and we're gonna help them. Alright, now I think it's probably the best thing to do would be to... Wait, we have 4 of those ports, right? Those port reports? Oh, jeez. Port reports from here. Avon, Prosper, Ulmir, Ibris. So we need 2 more. Alright, that's here. This is here because we need Bronzewood. Actually, we could get Bronzewood up at Traders Wood. Titania. Nope. Lustrum. This requires us to go to Carillon. Alright, so we can finish the Rat Brigade's recruitment. They're a troublesome bunch. Recruit Vivian at Magdalene's or Angel at Palmier and Plenty's. You'll need a condemned experiment for Vivian, or munitions and a moment of inspiration for Angel. The fact that we need two things and a moment of inspiration is probably as easy to come by as a condemned experiment. Maybe a condemned experiment is slightly harder to come by. I get the impression that having Angel is probably better. So Angel is the explosives expert, and Vivian is the nurse. I actually wonder if having a nurse would be better. And we're playing a very conservative game, so having healing is probably worth more than having more firepower. Let's go to Vivian. Let's get Vivian. Alright, all these are Carillan. We need to really level up before we start doing some of these, though. Here's another Carillan. We probably have to talk to the Incautious Driver, but I'm pretty sure that she's going to take us to Stainrod's, Leadbeater and Stainrod's. And here's another Leadbeater and Stainrod's. I think that the preponderance of stuff is going to dictate that we go to Leadbeater and Stainrod's. Here's more. Titania. I wish that this quest would go away. Alright, I think we should head on down to Leadbeater and Stainrod's probably. I think that the question is, should we go via Palmier and Plenty's and do the shipping quest first? Seems like a good idea. So 5. All right. I mean, it's a little bit out of the way, but it's not terrible. All right, let's go. And at least we'll have some Tackities to fight along the way. Hopefully they don't have too many of those dreadnoughts. Yep, is this one of them? Let's grab the cargo. Yeah, Bronzewood. These guys are so easy to fight now. Okay. But those dreadnoughts are still pretty tough, despite the fact that they're kind of slow. Man, it sucks that the Empire's losing against these traitors. You'd think that by how badly we walloped them, I wonder if it is actually possible to completely destroy them and end their presence here. Because that would be lovely. I kind of got the feeling that once they were in Lustrum, you really couldn't do anything about them. They would just kind of stay there. Let's do the new arrivals. We'll get rid of our terror. Build an inconceivable show. Recruit crew. No, that's a bad chance. We don't have our... Okay, so here's the bring Angel aboard. The Bombardier Rat has set up a tiny tent in the shadow of the obelisk. He works as a fire breather for the circus. He was leaving... Wait, he wants a leaving due... Wants a leaving due before he'll join you. He wants a leaving due. What? That's gotta be a typo. Alright, we'll collect tickets because it's always nice to have tickets. We're not going to really use them though because our tower's gone. I think we're just going to deliver our stuff and go, right? So, 5. We got a Vision of Heaven, that's nice. We got some Undistinguished Souls, we'll buy them. What does this actually sell? Verdant seeds. I think we'll... Shoot. Now I wish we didn't buy those Undistinguished Souls. Because I think we want to buy all 8. By 7. We should have one in the hold already. And we'll buy a supply. Let's get out of here. We could actually probably store our time fixing loom. Because there aren't any time problems, at least as far as we've seen, in the Reach. Oh, yeah, we should talk to the Incautious Driver. Where are you? Okay. Check with the driver. Check in on the driver. How are they coping with their verdancy? driven to madness. Sweat beads the driver's brow. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. The voices are so loud. They want to fly. I want to fly. If I don't deal with the fragment soon, I think I might finally lose myself. Alright, let's help them make a decision. The funeral has left them conflicted about their future. What do I want, Captain? The driver smiles awkwardly. How can I even tell anymore? Everything in my head says I should go to the nature reserve. End this already. But the Verdant fragment is it fair to condemn it so that I can go on? So recommend that they finish the journey. If this will set them... If this will free them, that's all that matters. Or we could recommend freeing the Verdant fragment. A life for a life is never a fair trade. Or it could remain neutral. This is their business, not yours. I don't like the idea of this parasitic fungus or whatever that's sort of taking over her brain. I think that is... I mean, it's in some way, it's not only a form of parasitism, it's sort of a form of slavery. It's making a human to a beast of burden for this thing. So even if it is sentient, I think we need to destroy it. So if this will free them, that's all that matters. You're right, of course. I spent too many years worrying about consequences. We must finish this. To the nature reserve, then. Learning about the Incautious Driver must face their impulses. And that's where we're going anyway. We got some bees. Should we fight them? We have no space. Now we do. Let's go. I'm not doing a good job of driving here. It's too busy listening for bees. I definitely hear something coming from over to the left. Excuse me. Unfortunately, I can't read that because it's stuck on top of text. It has something to do with tameness and mutton heads. Okay, we can join a hunting party. I wonder if we'd get a cage catch if we succeed at this. Let's do it. Yes. Join the hunting party. What threat can a few unruly animals be to an armed group of the sky's finest? Successful hunt. The animals of the nature reserve flee from your careful, methodical approach. Your rifle fires, and a promising one falls to the ground, wounded but alive. The opportunistic ranger binds its legs tight, ready to shove it in a cage once you return to the docks. Oh, we've no space. And we should probably sell some supplies. I forgot cage catch actually counts. I forgot that it takes up inventory space. Shoot. Alright, whatever. Let's go to the loading bay. Gather report, of course. Okay, we can export some more stuff. Let's do it. Doesn't take a bit inventory space, I don't think. Sapling not support Prosper. You should go to New Winchester. Captains you speak to roll their eyes. I didn't think I'd ever transport, well, that. One remarks, it's bloody expensive too, but it's less pointless than the sapling knot. Okay. Guess that's that. Capabilities Inquest, base of research. We'll ask the phlegmatic researcher about his complete research. Phlegmatic researcher sits alone in his cabin. A pie sits on his table, barely touched. He welcomes you, but sounds dejected. Evil befell my colleagues. My research has been cancelled, he says. And lead meter and stain rods won't tell me why. Speak with the phlegmatic researcher. Could he tell you more of his trouble? Lead meter and stain rods cut my funding and took away my work. He takes an unhappy nibble of the pie. They're shutting down my research here. The entirety of their production is turning towards Apollonian cinders. And his colleagues, one saying her voice away. Wait. One saying her voice away. But that didn't stop her. A few have shut themselves away with their research. The researcher shakes his head. There must have been something here causing the fatal obsessions. And if you'll help me discover it, I'd be grateful. Let me try this again. Ledbetter and Stainrod cut my funding and took away my work. Okay. He takes an unhappy nibble of the pie. They're shutting down my research here and the entirety of their production is turning towards Apollonian cinders. What is Apollonian cinders? Is that the first time we've actually heard of that? Alright, well, whatever. His colleagues, one saying her voice away. That didn't stop her. Few have shut themselves in with their research. The researcher shakes his head. It must be something to do with the fatal obsessions. If you help me discover it, I'll be grateful. Well, I mean, there's an obsession with the other guy and that bird, too. But this is the first I've heard of any of this. A calculating look flits across his face. I'll need someone to go to the reserve. They'll have to be armed. Captains carry munitions, right? Okay, so we're going to need a crate of munitions. Alright, let's turn in our research. You found what is required to fulfill the phlegmatic researcher's requests. He's paying out of pockets. Fortunately, they are deep. So we need the wings of a Chorister B in pristine condition, and in the ants from Homestead. Didn't we already do all these? We did. But I guess we have to do them again. We'll check the phlegmatic researcher's list. So, Old Tom's Well, Trader's Wood, Ligaments of Guest, that's going to be the tough one. Scribe Spinster, Titanian Petal, Fungal Creoline, Okay, that we can usually find just randomly. Yeah, these are all ones we've had to get before. Oof, what is this? More samples required. Data must be reproducible. Okay. Research funding has been pulled from the reserve, but there are certain phenomena the phlegmatic researcher still wishes to study. What's up with these fonts? This get more... Like, why are these bigger? I think it's actually bigger. It's not just caps. But it is weird that these are all caps. Alright. Wanted. The wings of a chorister bee, to study the cause of their melody. We seek the wings of a chorister bee. What makes them sing? What makes their smaller sisters only buzz? What? Wait, what? Can we only do one at a time? We've received curious reports about, from certain homesteads about the behavior of ants. Given the reports of ants circling those soon to die, we consider these creatures apt for study. I think that these messages are the same as before, so let's just move on. Let's ask about the romantic ornithologist bird. Mocking laughter, that is the same as before. This looks new. Discuss the phlegmatic researcher's secret initiative. All his comrades took ill. He's attempting to uncover why. He seldom uses his laboratory now. You'll find him in his cabin. Lying in bed, his swollen red leg raised on a mound of pillows. The phlegmatic researcher flicks through the pages and pages of notes. Something in the reserve has driven my comrades to madness. He raises himself up to look at you. You'll need munitions if you want to help. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll give you the best map I can. You can enter the reserve. You'll be going alone. You'll only have your wits and your weapons. Yeah, that sounds ominous. I think that we'll probably need a lot of fist or iron or whatever it's called. So capabilities inquest is where we were. Albert's Idyll. Can't we do anything with the Incautious Driver? Okay, here we go. The park is filled with birds and flowers and trees and woodland creatures, streams and bumbling insects, and other insidious dangers. Visitors are not allowed to venture too deeply into the reserve without an escort. Okay. Let's go visit the ornithologist. Yeah, these are all the same. Let's just say something to get out of here. Take a quick little trek into the reserve. It won't let us go twice. Okay. We'll investigate the clocks. We've never succeeded at this. Please, for the love of God, at least let us succeed at one of them. What the... Okay. Escort the Incautious Driver to the Verdant. The Fragment should end the driver's obsession. Start of darkness. With difficulty, you help the driver drag the remnants of the Fragment to the great tree in the middle of the reserve. Once again, its buds open up, showering spores to absorb its memories into itself. You are close enough to taste some of them yourself this time. An acrid, sour taste in the back of your throat. From it, an image forms in your mind. A squirming black cancer writhing in the heart of a god. A sudden darkness, a light extinguished by betrayal. A single burning thought. Murderer. The image fades, the edges withering from memory. The driver steps away, breathing out the last of their infestation. Their eyes no longer glint emerald, but the damper green of moss. They stand differently now, not trembling with the effort of keeping still. Your incautious driver is now judicious, and will increase your iron by 10 and your affiliation establishment by 2. You can now appoint the judicious driver to be your chief engineer. Ooh, I like that. I like that so much. Oh, we got a bunch of establishment. That was wonderful, because, you know, we're sort of playing more on the Albion-like side of things. So we like establishment. I like that her name has changed from Incautious Driver to Judicious Driver. I like getting 4,000 and leveling up, and look at this. We're even probably about, what would you say, that's maybe 15-20% of the way. Alright, so I mean, this is really interesting. There's a lot here. Okay, so we've got this. So the Verdant, it wasn't clear to me whether or not that was fungal or just like a plant. I mean, they're talking about a tree here, right? But this squirming black cancer in the heart of a god. I wonder what god they're talking about there. Are they talking about the stars? Are they talking about, like, the saint that died over there in the ice? I mean, there's so many things that it could be. I might have to go back and actually look at the steps that she took us through. I do wonder if what they're trying to imply here is that a squirming black cancer within the heart of a god. Is the squirming black cancer the verdancy? And it killed the god? Sudden darkness. Light extinguished by betrayal. I don't think so. I think that that something killed this entity, this tree entity, and the tree is sort of like all that's left of it. And its final, and it's remembering when it itself was killed, and it's calling the squirming black cancer murderer. I think. That's what I'm gathering from this. So the verdancy is, in some ways, despite being a parasite that takes over people's brains, is actually not evil per se. Alright. So I think we're done here, which is good because we're sort of running out of time. It's about time to wrap things up. So yeah, I think I'll wrap it up here, and we'll level up in the next episode. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you have, please like, maybe comment, maybe share, maybe subscribe. And in the next episode, we will level up, and I think I'm also going to try to make our way to Titania before we head on back. And then it'll be like Leadbeater, and then Titania, back, Corellan, Lustrum, back, and we'll sort of crunch through things in that way. We can do like Magdalene's and, well, Magdalene's is sort of on its own, but we could do Avon and Trader's Wood in one go. Things like that. So yeah, that's kind of the plan, and I hope you'll join me for the next one. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.